now until we have the presentation from the Indian side about night navigation. That's also quite interesting how you deal with that one. So please come back in time for the next presentation on night shipping. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Nearly complete, I think. So please go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good afternoon and good morning. Sorry, good morning and good afternoon. Sorry, I just lost. Good morning and good afternoon to you all. Today, for this session, we have a very interesting speaker. His name is Mr. Venkatakrishnan Alwar. He is the director of DB Productions, and also he is one of our consultant to our organization, NTC-PwC. Venkat is not a domain expert. Venkat is more on 3D, what do you call it? We call it as virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality. It's more on 3D animation and those type of stuff. He's creating quite a lot of interesting things. And how he is related to us. That is where he is helping us in creating some of our R&D programs, which is called digital twins and interactive 3D simulations, which is called navigation simulators and other related stuff. He's quite experienced in immersive experience building, immersive experience tools. And also by bringing in 360-degree cameras, he can able to provide virtual reality and augmented reality solutions. He was involved in quite a lot of signature projects using these tools. And more importantly, he is part of a large group of films, especially to give some names here is Underwater World Awakening, Iron Man 3, Harry Potter, to both the series, and Narnia. So in this, he was involved as a VFX supervisor. And he is currently working with us on developing night navigation and ship simulation related works. And one of his key product is on the night navigation in River Bhramaputra. He is quite talented. Only thing is he may not be able to tell what is about hydrology, hydrodynamics, and those type of stuff. But he will be much more happy to answer anything related to the solutions which he is going to share with you all. I hope this session will be very interesting to you all. With this short introduction, I wanted to invite Mr. Venkat to carry on with this presentation. Thank you. Mr. Venkat, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor. Thanks, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon. I think today is the first day I'm having so many people who are into education, and I'm the only person who's into art. So I feel so low, but whatever I'm going to present is well connected with the subject. And also I'm going to share my screen right now. You're able to see my screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. The subject is virtual experience in inland water travel in Indian rivers. Basically, about DB production, we were a visual effects company for more than 20 years, since 94 to 2014, and we moved into AR and VR sometime back. So my background is, I started my career as a painter, basically an artist. I do matte painting for feature films. And we also had 200 plus members for the 3D compositing and related works in Chennai. Basically, we get projects from outside India. Also, we do projects for domestic market as well. In the recent past, we started working on AR and VR since 2013, and currently more of a technographic solution company from Chennai, India. So basically, what I'm going to talk about is more of immersive technologies. When I say immersive technology, basically it is to give the user the feeling of that you are in it, but in reality you will be in your place, but it is surrounded with digital information or 3D models, or some sensorial feeling with haptic feedbacks, using various components of hardware, as well as the visual medium. The primary medium, the primary industries are automobile, manufacturing plants, research and development, defense, healthcare, retail, education, and television channels, religious center, museums, theme parks, entertainment centers. These are all the areas we are currently catering. Some of the solutions are not just virtual reality with the headgear. We also build for new stations with smaller green screen space. We build the virtual newsrooms with augmented reality in the front. We use gaming tools like Unity and Unreal for our development process. The interactivity, basically, there are multiple ways which we can interact in digital medium. Touch is the primary medium, and we also use voice, gestures, and sensors. When I say sensors, we can read from many sensors, and we can overlay or communicate visual information, in even voice as one, and also the positional data. When you go to a particular position, we can retrieve a data connected to that position, and then we can make it display. So basically, we have specialized team who does multiple sensorial based tools, and then integrate with Unity and Unreal and display the relevant content. Augmented reality. Basically, our augmented reality team, what we do primarily is augmented reality is nothing but overlaying an information in the real world. For augmented reality, we might use goggles, augmented reality goggles, like there are many in the market. Google Glass is the first one, and the latest one from Microsoft, and there are multiple products in the market. But in primarily with respect to users, the mobile is something which is very convenient for everyone. So most of the time we build for mobile solutions. So identifying a location and then overlaying a 3D model and popping out some information, or using 3D video or text, that is what is the primary use case. And we can also take information from the GPS data and then overlay relevant from the database, and we can push and pull information from the cloud as well as the mobile. I'm going to play you a small video. Basically, this we did for Government of Tamil Nadu. Using this mobile application, children can, by looking at their textbook, basically it pops out 3D models and also relevant videos. This we did 5-6 years ago for Government of Tamil Nadu, which is one of the states in India. And the recent development is, unlike augmented reality using mobile phone, we also build applications for normal Windows or Macintosh machines, where the teacher, they can stand in front of a camera, and with a Bluetooth controller or with an assistant, they can play the relevant content to the children. And we use 2 screens and a PC, and I'm going to play a video.
Now we are going to see a beautiful animal. It's an elephant. You might have seen the elephant. Wow, what a beautiful trunk. It's the biggest mammal animal. It looks so beautiful. Wow, see its trunk. Children, it cleans water.
Basically, during this pandemic, most of the school children, they were not able to attend the class. with our solution, we will make them interact with their teacher along with augmented reality content. We built with 100+ models, and we are supporting some of the local schools here. So the children can join from their home, and the teacher from the school with augmented models, and they were interacting with the children. So this is one of our products.
The drum. You know how it sounds?
And virtual reality, unlike augmented reality is overlaying an information in a real world scenario. We will be using some glass. On the glass, some reflected sheet will be there. With that reflection sheet, we will be using a small projector, for the goggles, and then we should be able to overlay information. In the mobile phone, we use the camera feedback, and then we overlay with using Unity. We used to overlay the information. Unlike augmented reality, virtual reality is something replacing the entire environment. And with the headgear, one should be able to feel as if they are there. And also, when it comes to virtual reality, there are multiple types of virtual reality there in the market. One is 3DoF, the other one is 6DoF. When I say 3DoF, most of the time it is the user head is the dynamic, but the visual information is attached to the head. So when you move your head, the content will stick to your head, and you should be able to see only 3 degrees of freedom with the rotation. There's no translation of the user. But when it comes to 6DoF, the user literally can walk into the virtual world, and they can interact like real with virtual world, and they can also pick the object and see it in 3D. I'm going to play a small demo video which we've done for government of Tamil Nadu. Basically, this project we created this for artisans in the pandemic. Not just in the pandemic, most of the time, when a government support these artisans, selling the product is something which they don't do, but government they help locally. One of the solution what we provided to the government of Tamil Nadu is we built a virtual reality showroom where the artisan's product will be displayed in virtual reality, and they can interact and buy in 3D.
Bhumbahar, immersive virtual reality showroom. The Tamil Nadu Handicrafts Development Corporation now proudly presents Bhumbahar Immersive Virtual Reality Showroom to all patrons of handicrafts to gain an exclusive experience. Now walk into any of these Bhumbahar Immersive VR showroom and dive into the Bhumbahar Virtual Gallery. Here you...
When you wear the headset, you should be literally able to, pick, walk around the object and interact in 3D space literally. And there'll be digital walls where you will not certainly hit the objects in your front. So we can create boundary with 6DoF controllers. So these controllers basically primarily help them in interact in virtual world. So this is from one of our project, and we use multiple techniques here. All the models, whatever you see in the virtual world, which is all a photogrammetric model. Basically, no modelers are involved in creating the 3D models. Here, imagine in our scenario, some of the locations are, some of the products which there is no engineering drawings are available. We can use a DSLR camera with a fixed focal length, a block lens basically, and take hundreds of images with the same lens angle, so that it can be processed, and the point clouds and 3D models can be generated out of it. So this is from one of our project. The next thing is XR. Basically, the terminology XR combines augmented, virtual, and mix of real world in a proper way. So there is no definite, hardware for XR. As of now, many of the companies, they use augmented reality goggles and use in stereoscopic manner, and then they say mixed reality or extended reality in their scenario. From our side, we developed a solution for KLM Airlines along with TCS. Basically, what we did is we created a digital twin of Schiphol Airport, their conference room, and we made them interact from various locations of the world. And also, let me play the video. Basically, this is a screen capture of my customer side. The client over there, his name is Jay Maloney. Okay, on the other side, Ashok. And there's one more person from our view, which is Werner. Basically, all the three, one person from the US, other person from Netherlands, and one person from India. All of them are in virtual world with their lookalike avatar. When we do photograph, photo quality 3D model, it's not easy to load and play it in real time. When we play in VR, we make sure that it is playing at 50 FPS. So we make the model optimized in such a way that it loads and dynamically plays in VR. So all the three people from various parts of the world, they connected with their head-mounted displays, and they were able to hear each other, what they speak. Also, we kept one, board where they can draw, and also we kept a mirror over there to, make them see how they are in virtual space. We also had a Lego block, so they can play, in the virtual space. So this is one of our, output. And yeah, so all the interactions, whatever you're seeing, it's all in real time from various parts of the world. And we also had, haptic feedback with the controller. If one person is, doing a handshake with the other person, they can literally feel the haptic. Okay, when I say haptic, it'll be like small vibration when they touch each other on the controller, and it is completely a binaural audio. Say, for example, if someone is calling from the front, you should be able to feel, the person is calling from the front. When you turn your head to the other side, still the sound is, static. Only you are dynamic. In a normal world, whatever we hear as a stereo sound, it is attached to the head. Even if you turn, the sound is stuck with your head. So in this scenario, we can retain the sound static, and your head is always dynamic. So it works like real world, so this is something which we did for KLM. Okay, now, yeah, these are all some of our, solutions, holographic and digital simulation for some of the training and other related works. And yeah, some of the malls, we also had, wayfinding stuff, usually wayfinding using map, and also we have beacons for indoor navigation. So we build application that can help them to walk into the museum with an assistant, in an interactive manner. And this I mentioned already. Basically, modeling of this sort of sculpture is something very tricky and tedious. Any modeler, they won't be able to do justice to what they do compared to the artisans, who carved, who did everything by hand. And you won't find any symmetry while we do with hand. So we make sure we retain all the quality or the detailing in the sculpture by means of taking multiple pictures from various angles and then creating the 3D geometry. So this is something which we did and which we do for both movies as well as for the AR and VR most of the times. And projection mapping. Yeah, when it comes to projection mapping, in general, this part of the world, they like to show visuals to the building and then create a wow factor during an occasion. The same techniques, in a simulator room. Here for buildings, we use multiple projectors. In a simulator room, we have to use multiple projectors. In this building scenario, we have to take the contour edges of the building and then do, warping according to the building shape and depth. In a simulator room, it's much simpler. It's a spherical, curvy 360 wall. So, but the technique and the terminology, whatever we use, it's all the same. So this is one video which I wanted to play. Basically, it goes on and on with various textures and material, and we make the audience to believe that their building is changing dynamic stuff. And while we do the projection mapping or the simulation stuff, we also have to maintain the synchronization part. When a projector, projected on a screen, there are multiple factors, in the syncing of multiple frames. So we understand and we manage the synchronization, even if a projector or a screen which is too far and which is very close to this thing, and irrespective of cable length or, the signal strength, we manage and we blend it and we make the delay or synchronization with multiple projectors accordingly. In this scenario, immersive experience in river and marine application, basically, my understanding from the learning, whatever I have gone through from the portals and internet, and I have understood that there are many ship simulators are there in the market. And also in the shipbuilding for visualization and other purposes, as a collaborative decision making, they also use simulators, and electronic navigational aids and dynamic positioning and maintenance with augmented reality on the repair, those sort of stuff which I felt which are the current usage in the marine and ocean related usage. Also, there are some of the case studies which I understand, from the discussions and from my view, there are many in the market. Okay, and when we build, it's very useful for the training. We can, even if the user is making multiple mistakes, they can correct themselves before going to the deployment or before they get into the real project. So that way it is very useful for research and training side. And also there are many cases, unforeseen situations. We can change the parameters of the wind speed and the wave, the tidal and other stuff using physics data. we can integrate into these game engines, and these things are possible with the simulation side. Also, there are multiple hardware part where this can be integrated with to increase the sensorial feeling and to increase the immersiveness in the simulation part. Sometime they're not just these sensors, just using a VR glass and with 6 degrees of freedom, we can build the entire simulator room without even having much hardware also. So these are all some of the technologies which I feel which are very connected, and case-to-case basis, on the need basis, we will be using multiple or some of these into the project. Okay, digital twins are basically when there is a data which can be basically it can be an ASCII data, text, or a number, or a combination of both, using internet or any form of communication. We should be able to integrate in the virtual world. And imagine that in a port scenario where there are 100+ ships are there, the position of these data can taken from AIS, and on the headgear or in the table in a projection surface, we should be able to make it move with contextual information. Also, we can embed additional information with digital twins. And drones, yes, for the taking aerial photogrammetry or survey of a location. And that is something which even in Bhramaputra, the lands on both sides, we are planning to use the drone survey. JS is 3D information. Again, you all very well know this 3D photogrammetry combining DSLRs in the ground and from aerial with cameras from the drone. We can build some lookalike models on both sides of the simulator, where the data from the other side, we can also connect to IoT, connect through IoT. In some scenarios, we can also use the collaborative VR. Imagine that you're all from Germany and from India, Dr. Raju, or some of you, or during the discussion phase, some decision-making process, without traveling so far, we can explain situations in VR. And there are multiple hardwares nowadays. It is all available in the market, and based on use cases, we can also use these haptic hardwares. Imagine that when there is a pressure in the water, or some force in the water, based on that, if there is to be mimicked in the controller, these haptic hardwares are useful, and there are many in the market. We can integrate and based on the use case basis. So projection mapping and holograms, which I mentioned already. So this is a video of the problem statement and the solution which we are planning for.
Implementation of night navigation system for cross-river ferry service in River Bhramaputra. Inland water transportation is a critical means of connectivity of the population in Brahmaputra River region. Lack of proper navigation arrangements limits the possibility of socio-economic growth in the region. Day as well as night navigation arrangement considerably hindered due to the following factors. The channel to cross the river is not fixed and based on the movement of shoals, sand chars, it keeps on changing. The route meanders depending on the location of such shoals, sand chars, which keeps on silting and increasing their influence in the channel. In every flood season, the location of these shoals, sand chars changes, resulting in the change of route of ferry travel across Brahmaputra River. To overcome the limitations, National Technology Center for Ports, Waterways and Coasts, NTCPWC, IIT Madras, developing new and innovative day and night navigation solutions and the necessary infrastructure required for ferry operations in the designated routes. Night navigation solution. The solution involves to study the migratory nature of sandbars and water depth during different period of the year. Numerical modeling study to identify number of islands that are emerging and submerging during monsoon and non-monsoon periods and seasons. Identification of navigational paths through systematic hydrography surveys techniques that will be employed at different seasons to identify the navigable paths that can be used of ferry operations. Development of digital navigational charts, DNC, with details on the depth contours with the navigable routes. The virtual aid to navigation, VATN, using Maritime Mobile Service Identity, MMSI, number following International Hydrographic Organization standards and symbols will be added to create navigational markers to mark the water depths during different parts of the day. Navigation using virtual ATON. Authority can transmit navigation information to the boat navigation device. Development of navigational application underway that can be used in boat cabin or with handheld device-based digital navigational charts, DNC, and virtual aid to navigation guidance for ferry operators. The digital navigational charts, DNC, will be constantly updated for water depth. The virtual aid to navigation will be realigned to mark the navigable paths. To continuously monitor the water depth in the designated ferry routes, deploying autonomous unmanned survey vehicle will help to enhance the update of the digital navigation charts.
The autonomous surface vessel or the craft is a groundbreaking development from NTCPWC at IIT Madras. It's got a battery pack and it has got a solar power embedded in it, so it can either be charged and put to operation, or it can be in open area and it can run on solar power. It has got endurance of about 7 hours presently, and it can travel at the speeds of 7 to 10 knots in the present design. The craft has applications in civilian and defense sectors, and it can also be put to use for other applications. It can be fitted with several sensors, including echo sounders, bottom profilers, lidar, radar, etc.
Autonomous unmanned survey well equipped with radar, ice, night vision camera and obstacle avoidance to carry our surveys in the night. Next, to enhance further the safe and smooth ferry operations in River Brahmaputra, implementation of River Information Service is essential. River Information Service designed specifically to ensure safe navigation on inland waterways, to provide electronic data transfer between water and shore through real-time information exchange and harmonize information services to support traffic management in inland navigation. The River Information Service includes proprietary centralized command control system with functionalities for vessel traffic management, shore-to-vessel communication, weather broadcast, night navigation, communication protocols to enable safe and smooth operation. Improve communication protocols such as Wi-Fi, VHF, and satellite comms to remove dead spots and to overcome other obstacles due to heavy machinery, using helikites for seamless communication of data. Night Navigation and River Information Service will help Assam Inland Water Transport Development Society for better planning and provide a careful planning of activities to support socio-economic growth in the region.
So, yeah, from my understanding, there there are many things which we have to build in digital. So, which is the Bhramaputra aerial view, the river ferry terminal on both sides, and 3D scene of water with water depth, contours, and values. And also the boarding point, and there is an option to choose various boards. The interior view of the boat from the cabin side, the device panel in the cabin side, where the information from the devices can be part of the display, particularly the map and other information, the temperature and other dynamic information. And immersive experience of the boat, that is something. And also the dashboard, say for example, for the web, we are trying to make a web URL as a first phase where the user can navigate like the car game, like any other game in the internet. So the route map with the navigation assistant of the Bhramaputra route from one side to other side. So the experience, whatever we are going to create, which is all connected to the real world data, and just the visual part of it, we are planning to do from our side. Here also, the user can experience the water depth with reference to the location and proximity to the object. Say, for example, the virtual buoys on either side, it can guide when there is a issue in the depth, or or guiding them to the shore. And we can put some virtual route, and also give them alert when they touch a particular point. So these are something which we are planning to do it in the phase-by-phase manner with IIT Madras. Thank you very much, and I'll be too happy to answer any of your questions connected to my work. I hope I finished on time, or it's early, I'm not sure.
Thanks, Venkat, for this interesting and very illustrative talk. I now invite the floor for any Q&A or any further clarification. We'll be more happy to share with you all. Actually, most of them are given their appreciation for your work. There are many in the chat box. You can able to see that.
Sure.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Maybe you can remove your share screen.
Yeah.
Then I think we can see people if there is.
One minute. Yeah.
Actually, our plan is to introduce you all through a virtual goggle, but unfortunately, it is quite expensive to get that to each one of the participants. Definitely, in the next summer school, we will try to do something. Actually, I told Mr. Venkat that we should have. We are now promoting some of this on the education program, including navigational training. So I think it will be very interesting in case if you happen to visit us next time. You will have an immersive lab, where you can able to touch, feel, and then do a immersive experience of the waters here in India.
So thank you for the nice presentation, very nice insights. And my question is about, are there any plannings for the training of the employees of the boat? Maybe this could be also an idea?
Yes, of course. That's what is the plan, which I understand from IIT and the team.
Yeah, Fritz, it's like this. The people whom we are handling are not that tech savvy. They are not that good in this type of gadgets and all. But for sure, they are very good in smart phones. Everyone in India carries a smartphone. So our target is to address smartphones. So actually, I thought Venkat will share what he had done with a smaller thing, which is like internet based. It's something like a game where you can able to sail a boat with the navigational aids, available navigational aids. So we wanted to educate them in that manner so that it will be, even there are chairs now, low cost chairs with a goggle and the device, you can able to simulate the terminals. And from cross ferry terminals, how it can go, even two people can able to do that. Two boats crossing over, what will be the impact? All those things are also is possible. So we are starting with a very, very simple one for them to educate first. Then after that, getting into more like an immersive lab. This is what I think you all met Robin Kalita, Mr. Robin Kalita. I'm working with Robin Kalita to come up with some sort of a lab for, especially for Northeast region, where ferry operations is really on a day-to-day basis. So we need to train them, educate them to make them much more educated on this area. That is our ultimate goal.
In fact, to add, one more thing, when there is a physical, values of the force and wind and other stuff, these chairs basically it represents, the physical movement, and basically it has got the movement as well as the rotation with, controllers. So they feel as if they are going there. With the headgear, it's completely immersed.
Any other question?
I have a question, and thank you very much for the very interesting presentation with other perspectives and applications for inland water transport. I was wondering about, I think these tools are very useful as educational tools, capacity building, and if there is plans also to use these tools for raising awareness on the importance on conserving the rivers, and about also the information about sediments. So all what you're getting, but in a way that the normal society, like the passengers, also understand the visitors, for example, in the ports, on the terminals, so that they understand the situation of protecting the environment, but also the importance of the inland water transport. So as a tool of for capacity building, raising awareness in the society, if there is any plan, or if you have experience in this area.
Yeah, I think, though I'm not a subject matter expert, from the, normal person perspective, I feel, yes, they should feel the experience when there is a situation, with simulators and permanent installation of simulators, not just the operators, they can also make the public to experience the same too.
There is an initiative that in Chennai, that is in southern part of India, they are going to come up with a maritime academy with all these details, so that you will have an experience. Like it starts from our aging, like a history of navigation and how it started and all those things. So along with that, they wanted to have this immersive experience as well. We are looking into this, how we can able to set up and see how we can able to educate the public as well, so that there will be some sort of an awareness on how to use this type of transport. That is more important thing. There are no much guidelines, especially when it comes to inland water sector. So this is something which we wanted to promote as well. Venkat, there is one more interesting question in the chat box. It is like, how much it cost in terms of Indian rupees to make an XR for a meeting like our IGCS winter school?
See, the cost factor is connected to the number of people involved for X number of days or X number of month. But we have made a platform where we have to replace only the surrounding, and you can experience. Maybe post this call we can discuss with Professor Raju, and we can set up a demo for you.
If Venkat, if I'm correct, it is like more like the environment is built. Only thing you need to change the model part, and then you can start working onto it, right? It is like that, right?
Yeah, as of now, we built for conferencing. Basically, recent days, many of the companies, the CEO or CFO, CXO, they are not able to travel from one place to other. So we are helping our customers to use virtual reality headgear from their home, and they can conduct official meetings. So whatever is required for the meeting, it's all there already. There'll be a pin board, and you can share your PPT on a screen, and also have a Lego blocks. So that setup is there. Only thing is we have to replace the environment and publish it for conferencing. And it is peer-to-peer. It works like when you invite a Zoom link, only one person can share like that. It works with one person to the other person. If there is a group of people, up to 99 people can interact in VR, all with HTC Vive or Vive Pro headgears.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
I also have to thank you for this amazing presentation. And I just discussed also with Anna that in Germany, we feel like in the Stone Age, if we see this technology, especially also the availability for school children. I think this is an amazing approach, especially in this situation of lockdown. I was wondering, of course, this is a vision to the future, but do you see the chances that this reaches really the school children, and how much investment would be involved, and when would you see that happen? Is it a matter of a month, or if it's a matter of years, or how do you see the technology really reaching the customers in that case?
In general, after March, two of my friends, they're owning a small school here. That's how we started, building those 3D models. And out of 100 model, 95 are readily available in the internet. So when it comes to elephant, it is elephant. Universally, elephants are same. So we don't need to create from the scratch. So implementing these sort of solution, it's not so expensive. It is quite cost effective in my view. Only thing is, how do we make it work to our purpose and the need for the school children? So what we did is, we integrate a machine with a 2 HDMI card and screen sharing thing. So we were sharing one screen to the school children, and one screen in Zoom call, multiple windows, sharing to the teacher. And we were able to achieve it in a very shorter period. In fact, it's implemented in many of the schools here. Already, like us, there are many companies, they are also doing on their groundwork to make it happen. It's not too far. It's very easy to reach a mass audience. Only thing is, support from the government or, a larger connect with the schools helps better. But right now we are too small. So we reach here.
But I guess this would be really of worldwide interest, because we are all in the same boat. No, we are all really stuck at home, and school children are taught at home. So this would be an amazing thing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yes, I've got another question. We saw on your presentation the digital navigation charts. And to what extent are these digital maps of the rivers in India are currently available? Because in Germany, these types of maps, there are up to 80% there for the rivers.
I think Professor Raju can answer.
Okay, thanks, Venkat. Actually, there are no charts available for rivers, especially in India. There is no what you call survey being carried out. Now, with this new initiatives on inland water transport and also on cargo movements, now they're slowly starting. Actually, we are developing charts, and also as you have seen that the sand charts and sand bars are very dynamic. So a frequent mapping is also advised, and that is what we are now engaging. The most important thing is the funding issue. Even though these are all the things, these are all some of the factors which affects the navigation. The other thing is the National Hydrographic Office, which they need to commission more in terms of mapping all these national waterways, at least the primary ones which have been identified. I think these are all in the roadmap. I think within the next 2-3 years, we may be able to see some sort of more this type of applications which will be coming up, including the rolling out of charts for this.
Maybe I can report also a bit on how it's done in Germany. For example, the Elbe River is a very busy river now, and there we have the system of Elbe pilots. So every large ship is obliged to take a pilot on board, and they have exactly this kind of software telling them where all the sediment is there and where all the bars are, and they have a daily update in their maps. So they have a virtual map, and of course the pilots are trained for that, and they advise then the captains of the ship how to steer along the Elbe so that there is no traffic jam or no blocking of the river or whatever. And I guess this kind of pilot system, I don't know if it's present in India, but this would be certainly a group which could be well trained for such a task and applying this kind of software. How is it organized in India?
Yeah, currently it is a practice in ports, especially the riverine ports. They do have this type of mechanism where they have the pilots. They will board when the ship arrives in the entrance, and then they'll navigate all the way to the channels, and then they guide them as well. But in rivers, it is yet to come in. That's why you can see that we are carrying out the mapping related works only on the ferry route operations. We are not mapping the entire river, which is not also correct. We need to map the whole section of the river. Then only we know how it happens in the upper reach and what is happening in the downstream condition as well. So then we can able to have a perfect thing. We have taken river Bhramaputra as our primary objective of this study, and I hope we can able to come up with some sort of a solution in a year to come to complete those things.
Wonderful. In Germany, these systems are even used to document if the pilot did a proper job and if he puts a ship to the shore and so on. This is all also recorded. So if there was any complaint afterwards, they have also proof that they did correctly and so on. It's a very complex software. And I think this would be a big step towards a sustainable shipping future if your system would be implemented.
Yeah,
thank
definitely.
you.
Thank you, Nicola.
In addition to that, I wanted to add a few more points to the earlier question. That, as Raju has said, NHO is taking care of the survey data of the ocean and the inland. In addition to that, Inland Water Authority of India is also now started carrying out the surveys, and they started giving the kind of a survey works to our NTCPWPC for taking care of the mapping of the entire or part of the navigable river areas where the ferry services operated. So that point I just add. Thank you.
I would like to also ask a question.
Yeah,
I really like that how the virtual reality works in the museums there with the sculptures and these things. So I would like to ask, do you have any experience about how the natural history museums can be in this? Like, because I have seen in one museum they had like a one little model, and you can go to that number with the kind of lens, and then you can see the video about this. Oh, there are ducks in the water and so on. So I would like to see how it is in the natural history museums. Will it work, or any experience?
In general, we use proximity sensors. Basically, some ultrasonic sensor placed above the visitor's head. Say, for example, there is a painting or a sculpture. We place a sensor just above, in front of the work. So when you come close to that particular thing, we make it trigger with Arduino or other controllers, and we make the experience to play. So in a term, it is very simple, to execute, but logically, it requires some planning, but it's very easy to do.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Venkat?
I have a question.
Yeah, Anthony.
First of all, thank you for your presentation, sir. I personally feel that the application of AR is quite limited into day-to-day alone, but coupled with say VR and to have XR and MR, we can apply it more and more. I feel that is the way to go, and it is the future that we all need to look towards, because I've seen with the gaming industry as well that this is where the new this is what the users or the consumers of this technology want. And I would like to know your views on this, and also like a more technical question. The game you all said you all are trying to implement on the Brahmaputra river. Are you also using the Unity engine there, or it's going to be much more simpler in that sense?
We are using Unity engine only. Yes, when it comes to AR, VR, or XR, these are all terminologies in my view. When it comes to AR, how close, maximum utilizing the AR feature for the end consumer on a particular subject matters the most. Say, for example, if you're using AR for identifying an object, or to identify a product, or for wayfinding, then it's very useful. So we can't replace AR with VR or VR with AR or XR. Most of the time, it is very subjective. And it is just a beginning in my view, because after 2007, only after smartphones, these are all evolved. So, but VR is something which is there for quite some time, more than 25 years. So the development of AR, VR, and MR in the next 5 years, I'm sure it'll reach the peak. Unity is what we used for the Brahmaputra navigation.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome, actually.
Okay. If there are no further questions, is it fine? Like we can close the session? Okay. So I thank Mr. Venkatakrishnan for this interesting presentation. I hope you all enjoyed this, and then I hope that Venkat can show something in reality in the next summer school for all of us. Thank you all. Thanks for all your attention.
Thank you, everybody.
I now hand over this. I hand over this session to Anna now.
Thank you very much. That was fantastic. Really great to see. Yeah, we will continue with a short break, 1 hour, and we'll meet for the working groups at 12 German time and 4:30 Indian. Thanks again, and see you.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.